Fire! Party time! Excellent! I am your most excellent host, Thundarius, and with me, as always, are my most excellent co-hosts.
Yeah, like that dude Shades.
And I'm Dylan.
And we are Cyber Skull Media. Yes, we got likened to Wayne's World in our Genesis video.
Come bust a move where the games are played. It's chill, it's fresh, it's Noah's Arcade.
And since we're recording this one before Slaughterhouse, we thought we'd throw that in for some fun. We appreciate the kind comments such as that. But yes, this is Fail or Fire, the series where we show you what we think is a fail, fire, or just plain mid. And we're back today with another Ren video. Welcome in, Council of Steves. Salute to you. Hail. We're doing Crucify Your Culture today because everybody said that we have to do this one before we drop the Money Game trilogy on Black Friday. So here we are. We're going to cover it. Not entirely sure. We think Slaughterhouse dropped yesterday for us, but in case we had some issues getting everything edited, it's tomorrow. Or you already saw this, and this whole section of the video is moot. But we're here. We're going to do some things, and I'm ready. Are you boys ready to do this?
Yes, sir.
I'm curious to see which culture we're crucifying.
All of them.
Every single one of them.
Before we get into it, I want to remind y'all to stay weird out there today because everybody be taking things way too fucking serious. All right, this is Ren, Crucify Your Culture. We've got a very interesting looking video sitting in front of us.
It kind of looks so.
A murderer's mind, born into a murderous time, where right or wrong is a blurred line, hard to define. For greed is poison the well. We all drink from the chalice. It's a long way down into the rabbit hole, Alice.
Now I crucify your culture, burn down the altar. Religion of consumerism picks us up like vultures, takes us for punks. They say jump, we jump. It's the same if it's Bush or Obama or Trump. I'm not buying into a 1-2-3 party system. I rise against them illusions of choice. Take our voice or take back your rigged election system deficit. Represent nobody but your money. Funny how you keep them sweet, honey. Shepherds and the sheep on
Someday they'll find a way to sell my views, like they sold the concept of freedom to you. They sold the voice of Huxley, of Orwell, devoured by Dalai Lama. Now they're all just a product to you.
and now you can.
All right. Well, I wasn't exactly expecting rock. We've covered so much rap or oddity stuff from Ren so far. It was nice to get a good rock track in here.
Yeah, I like that vocal distortion too. You know, he showcases his voice so much, and to hear him add kind of an effect or a filter to it, throw us for a loop again. He just keeps on changing and mixing it up, and I'm kind of digging it.
Social Distortion?
Hey, that's a good band.
So far, it's pretty good shit. I like that it's not rap. It's different. Voice changing. It's pretty sweet. I guess I should have had more of an idea what we were doing, though, when it came to Crucify Your Culture.
That's pretty vague. I mean, that could be a number of cultures, right?
Like Drowning Pool, Dylan?
No, they don't stand for anything. They're just revolting just because.
Well, if you're new to us and this is the first time you've seen us cover Ren or any videos or music for that matter, we like to read the lyrics. And I know that they're on screen right now and people just read them, but we like to read them back to digest them a little easier for ourselves and so that we can pick things out a little bit easier that we really like, that we want to talk about maybe or comment on. I'm going to read them. And if that's not your thing, that's fine. You could mute me, skip ahead a little bit, whatever you want to do. But we're going to get into this right here. So we had an intro and a verse 1. So let's dive down there and see what he had to say. A murderous mind born into a murderous time where right or wrong is a blurred line, hard to define, for greed has poisoned the well. We all drink from the chalice. It's a long way down into the rabbit hole, Alice.
It's a pretty deep hole.
I'm gonna come.
Not if it's too deep, you're not.
Definitely love some Alice in Wonderland references over here. All fucking day. Say what you want about the Tim Burton version, but Johnny Depp killed it.
No, don't you say that to me.
Oh, I will.
No.
Come, we simply must commence with the slaying and such.
But greed has poisoned the well, and we all are forced to drink from the chalice every day. Now at Crucify Your Culture, burn down the altar. Religion of consumerism picks us off like vultures and takes us for punks. They say jump and we jump. It's the same if it's Bush or Obama or Trump or Kamala. I'm not buying into 1, 2, 3 party system. I rise against them. Illusions of choice steal our voice, so take back your rigged election. System deficit, represent nobody but your money funny. How you keep 'em sweet, honey. Shepherd and the sheep, dummy. Someday they'll find a way to sell my views, just like they sold the concept of freedom to you. They sell the voice of Huxley or Orwell, Guevara, Dalai Lama. Now they're all just a product to you. And this dude's spitting some truth out here.
Consumerism's it's a real tough subject for me. I spent so much of my life in retail, and as consumerism started eating into family time and holidays, I had to really make these like tough moral decisions, how much of that I wanted to participate in. Fortunately, none of the places I worked canceled Thanksgiving, which is coming up, but we see more and more of that. Black Friday starts on Thursday now. Consumerism's just, it's a terrible thing. Holidays just get pushed down our throats. The last day that Halloween decorations are up, there's Christmas decorations put out. So they're definitely just pushing that agenda harder and harder.
Someday they'll find a way to sell my views, which is ironic because what do you think happens on YouTube and all these other platforms? They're making money off of his videos. A lot of us in the reaction community are making money off of his videos, but I feel like some of it's a very symbiotic relationship. We've turned a lot of new people onto Ren. We have found somebody that we think is worth showing to the world with the messages that he has and the music that he makes. But I see why people want us to put this in before Money Game. Now, especially after we recently did Money Ties. We're in the US. It's November. We had some crazy shit happen recently. Regardless of where you regardless of where you sit, although I do spit on the political system, Haktua.
Spit on that thing.
Regardless of where you lie within or without the political system, it's all a bunch of bullshit. It's all powered by greed and money hungry, power hungry individuals. Rin out here spitting like he's Beastie Boys or Rage Against the Machine when they were actually good and not consumerist assholes. Maybe even a little bit of Rise Against in there.
No, he's got a point.
So real quick, you mentioned Rage Against the Machine, and I do want to touch. He specifically mentions Che Guevara. He was a big person in the Rage Against the Machine world. And what do you see on T-shirts and in their artwork and merchandising? Che Guevara. So they're guilty of what they raged against.
And that guy did some fucked up shit too. They sell tons of $high tickets and merch and everything. And you want a real anti-system band, go check out Backwards. We covered them on the channel and they didn't even get 100 views. So do Thundy a favor and go check it out. The illusions of choice steal our voice, so take back your rigged elections. I'm not going to say anything about that. So YouTube leaves our video up. But I think it's time to get into the rest of this because I am very intrigued to see where the rest of this Monty Python looking ass video goes.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
They'll find a way to sell my views, like they sold the concept of freedom to you. They sold the voice of Huxley, of Orwell, Guevara, Dalai Lama. Now they're all just a product to you.
And now you care more about your new shoes, the loose screws and minds of politicians that abuse you, to shape you, break you. Consumerism breaks you until your thoughts to end you. They make you want to hate you, so you keep buying. Corporation buying, defying fraudulent liars and burning empires, tapping to the telephone wires and history's bias. It glorifies and justifies our evil. It justifies the wars that rain destruction upon people.
Every single human born equal.
They treat you like an asset, not a human, man. It's see-through. Slavery through debt. You think that mortgage is to help you? Bills stacking high, killing dreams, money maims you, lying tames you. The land of the free. Irony, a hierarchy, folks. Education kills the fire in me. Still I stand strong like two towers that were knocked down by greedy men's thirst for power and now greed.
Greed plants a seed that will destroy us all if we succumb to greed. Fuck greed. Silent I breathe. Burn money. Greed makes us bleed, makes us bleed, makes us bleed.
Our political
Fuck greed.
Fuck greed.
Fuck Creed. Wait,
Wait, not Creed. I sacrifice.
Boo! You stink!
I do like the green that we paused on right here. And this dude out here spitting some shit. I know he said, we're glad it's not, or that we're refreshed to get a rock track from Ren that's not rap. I mean, he's rapping the lyrics, but if you put a rock beat behind it, you get Thundy on board real fucking quick. Well, let me read through some of the stuff we got here, and then we'll break it down a little bit. And now you care more about your new shoes than loose screws in minds of politicians that abuse truths to shape you and break you. Consumerism rapes you until your thoughts, they ain't you. They make you want to hate you, so you keep buying, corporation frying, defying fraudulent liars and burning empires. Tap into the telephone wires, and its history's biased. It glorifies and justifies our evil. It justifies the war that rains destruction upon people. Every single human born equal, they treat you like an asset, not a human man. It's see-through. Slavery through debt. You think that mortgage is to help you? The bills stacking high, killing dreams. Money maims you. The lion tames you. The land of the free, irony. A hierarchy, false education kills the fire in me. But still I stand strong like two towers that were knocked down by greedy men's thirst for power. And now greed. Greed plants the seed that will destroy us all if we all succumb to greed. Fuck greed. Silent I breathe. Burn money. Greed makes us bleed, makes us bleed, makes us bleed. Where do we even start with that, man?
There's so much in there.
Corporate frying, defying fraudulent liars, burning empires, tapping to the telephone wires. And that was fire.
A lot to dig into here. The whole thing about being born equal, but we're assets, right? So we're given these social security numbers. As adults, we're given credit scores. There's so much numerical attachment to human beings. We could spend an hour talking about this stuff, but we're not truly free people. Ownership, right? You buy a house, you don't pay the taxes, they take your house. No matter how much you've put into it, you buy a vehicle, you own it, you pay licensing fees every year. So none of these freedoms are actually free. It's an illusion that they've given us.
What you're saying is taxation is theft.
That's what I'm always saying.
I've been saying it for years. People think that slavery's done. Like, we've been slaves, and people just don't want to think that we're slaves because we're getting money.
Just looks differently.
Yeah.
Well, we're taxed on what we earn and on what we spend.
And on what we buy.
We're left very little for ourselves to survive.
All the while, loose screws in minds of politicians that abuse truths. The politicians abuse truths all the time. Seems like every political ad lies about something, no matter which side of the aisle you're on. That's why some of us choose to not be in the aisle whatsoever.
I don't think it's right that you become a politician with a net worth of X, and then you're in office for 2-4 years, and all of a sudden you're a multimillionaire. You shouldn't be getting rich while in office.
Yeah, no kidding.
We need term limits. The lobbyists are buying votes. Man, there's a lot to talk about here.
History's bias. It glorifies and justifies our evil. History is written by the winner. So how much do we think we know from school? That's not even true. I don't know. No one's out here fact checking our history books.
Where were the fact checkers back then?
Facebook wasn't invented yet, Shades.
Yeah, they had nobody to sit around behind the computer and be like, oh, that's not right.
Didn't have community notes, man. A hierarchy of false education kills the fire in me. There's a massive problem with education in this country, and I think government is one of the main issues behind it itself.
It reminds me of that cartoon. You give everybody a standardized test, but if you tell a goldfish to climb a tree, it won't get the same score as the monkey.
Howard Johnson is right.
Stand strong like two towers that were knocked down by greedy men's thirst for power. Jet fuel don't melt steel beams. That's all I'm going to say about that. We're getting canceled.
Never again. Canceled. Goodbye.
Now that we've been canceled, should we go ahead and hit the end of this song?
Might as well.
This is our last video. Thank you, guys. It's been fun. I've enjoyed working with you.
It's been great. Love to see you. Join our Discord.
That will destroy us all if we succumb to greed. Fuck greed. Silent I breathe. Burn money. Greed makes us bleed, makes us bleed, makes us bleed.
Our political system is a farce. Democracy will not exist till actions speak louder than money. Wealth is a poison honey. Another money-making holiday for the Easter bunny. Adverts suck out your soul. I drink Coca-Cola. Lining up the pockets of the fat controller. Selling fear to the people. Let it spread like a bowl. A propaganda machine. Remember the dream, it's hopeless. Nikola Tesla, 1883. The DC current system fought against the AC. But not because the AC system wasn't any better. Because people don't like change when money's at the center. Move, let me enter from the epicenter. Poison parliamenter, who's the main contender? Oh, it's you, Mr. President. Evident that the counterintelligence is a hell of a prevalent.
fucking hell. I am very, very glad that we covered this one. Let me get these lyrics out the way. We'll dive into it and then hit our review. Our political system is a farce. Democracy will not exist until actions speak louder than money. Wealth is a poisoned honey, another money-making holiday for the Easter bunny. Adverts suck out your soul, drink Coca-Cola, lining up the pockets of the fat control, selling fear to people, let it spread like Ebola, propaganda machine, American dream, it's hopeless. Nikola Tesla, 1883, the DC current system fought against the AC, but not because the AC system wasn't any better, because people don't like change when money's at the center. Move, let me enter from the epicenter. Poison Parliament, who's the main contender? Oh, it's you, Mr. President. Evident that the counterintelligence is a hell of a prevalent.
The Tesla thing, I've got several things I can mention in that aspect, just throughout our lifetime, right? Early in our childhoods, I assume we're all about the same age. Betamax versus VHS. Most people would tell you that Betamax was a superior format. VHS won out because of backing and financial support. Toshiba came out with HD DVD. Sony came out with Blu-ray. Obviously, we know who won. Most people would tell you that HD DVD was a better format. Apple versus Microsoft, the iPod versus the Zune. You know, we've seen this thing play out in our lifetime. It's all about money and backing.
We all know that Blu-ray won because of corn culture.
Now, whichever format porno backs is usually the one that becomes the most successful.
Regardless of what side you align with some of the things Dylan just mentioned, you realize that it's just an illusion of choice. Why in 2024 or all throughout these years, and we have all this technological advancement, is there only a couple of choices for most things out there on the market, depending on what we're talking about, obviously, but why is it we have a handful of choices at most between things? Unless you're in the deodorant aisle at Walmart, then you got like 1,000 things to choose from.
Just one, Dr. Squatch. Sponsor us. You keep me fresh.
I will use Dr. Squatch if they sponsor us.
Bring it. I need some Squatch. Make it more affordable. Give me a discount.
Nikola Tesla is quite the guy. I love the movie The Prestige. David Bowie killed it as Nikola Tesla. That's a great movie that talks about some of the stuff he went through.
Shout out Christopher Nolan.
DC versus AC. AC/DC is the most generic rock band of all time, and the drummer's the most generic drummer that has ever been recorded.
Lars.
Why would you say something so controversial yet so brave?
Getting all sorts of hate in the comments from the AC/DC supporters. Hey, I'll rock out to Thunderstruck like the next guy, but I'm not going to go listen to AC/DC. Our political system is a farce. Democracy will not exist until actions speak louder than money. Without Thundy going down a 30-minute rant, if you want to hear Thundy rant about some political stuff, I'll mention again our video Selection by Backwards that we posted this month. The only reason we are in the position that we are in our country and other countries is because money from, like Dylan said, lobbyists, special interests, speaks louder than the people. And the people have all the power. We just choose to sit at home and complain online and do absolutely nothing about it, other than maybe one time every 4 years, which is not good enough, especially when you don't pay attention to who's running locally or at your state level. You vote the same way every single election cycle because the person's name next to it has an R or a D. You know, we have the power. The other problem is it's really hard to research your local candidates. Who the fuck are these people? Why is 80% of my ballot running unopposed? What is going on? The people can keep things in check. We just choose as a populace not to. We'd rather complain and pass the buck. And the buck is being spent by special interests.
Let him cook!
You want to know what really grinds his gears?
I don't know what really rumbles my thunder. I might have to bring that series back. Adverts suck out your soul, drink Coca-Cola, another money-making holiday for the Easter bunny. I mean, Easter's coming up here in a few months. Gonna go hopping around, but we're about to hit the most consumerist holiday of all, which is Christmas. I like Christmas. It's a good time. It's more about spending time with my family these days than anything else. And it's funny speaking on consumerism, and then what's behind us? Consumerism. I got all this stuff from sports to Star Wars and our indie movie film tape head Dylan was a part of. And it is what it is. You can't get out of the system. So you may as well figure out how to make your way through it and use it to your advantage.
I think everybody should get Krampus. All you greedy bastards. Krampus is coming.
I want to go to Krampusnacht in Germany someday as a cyber school adventure, and I know our German fans would absolutely approve of that.
Or Belschnickel.
Oh, judgment is nigh, for the Belschnickel is I.
Yes, he is finally nigh.
Well, should we get into our review now, boys?
I think we should. We've rambled long enough.
Now that you're here, right before we start our review, should we talk to the Renegades real quick right before we start our review? Because we don't have a whole lot to tell them today. So for those of you who don't know, we have a Discord. Go check it out. It's linked in the description. If it doesn't work, let us know. We like to get all of our lore from you guys, and it's really hard to keep track of it when it's in the comments of our videos. So if you jump in there, you can type up things, let us know things. We've got a whole section of forum for the Renegades. I will be hanging out there right after this video, talking to people in the chat. It's going to be a good time. Shout out to everybody in the live premiere chat right now. We premiere these every single time we drop a video, and today may be a special Saturday premiere where people are hanging out. So shout out every single one of you in the chat. Drop the sick boy emojis for me if you're there. And we will be covering the Money Game trilogy next week on Black Friday. So we will see all of you there. We have a whole playlist covering Ren. It's up to 15 videos or 16 videos now. So go check it out. It's in order from when we first were exposed to Ren with Chris Webby and Baggage to where we are now. So you guys can follow the whole journey and understand some of the inside jokes that we make all the time. We also have a Thanksgiving special coming up very, very soon in just 2 weeks. Details are on the screen now. Now, Dylan, what did you think? Start us off today.
Fire. This was a fucking fire. I like the rock element. Mentioned I like that little vocal distortion. It's almost like punk rock, like without being musically, you know, like chord progression and whatnot. It's not punk, but like the whole ethos behind this is very punk rock, very anti-establishment. A lot of the stuff I listen to in my personal life, you mentioned several of them, Rise Against, early Rage Against the Machine, Backwards. So yeah, a lot of the themes that we gravitate towards, you know, a lot of our feelings about the social climate, political climate, this nailed it on the head. Structure-wise, it's a great song, musically solid. This might be my favorite Ren song lyrically, as far as the message as it relates to how I feel about things. You know, he's always speaking his truth, and we get a lot of songs about his health journey and things like that. He's touched on some of these topics before as well, but as far as putting it all together and just dropping some serious knowledge, I think lyrically, this is my favorite track so far.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I also want to mention, y'all notice you can see Dylan's eyes. He has committed to eyeballs in every Rin video moving forward since he forgot last week.
Yep, I fucked up.
And you went and that all up, Dylan.
and if you watch Slaughterhouse before this, then you notice this again. I just have to say, your eyes are like moons. Howard Moons.
Oh, what, you think they're small?
Yes, I do, sir.
My eyes are smaller than yours. I can fit mine twice in yours with room to spare, sir.
I heard that. Well, I read it with my small eyes.
All right, Shades, what did you think today?
First off, the Discord, when they go to leave us information, hopefully it's not just, you know, I have a goldfish.
We do have a pets section. You can drop your pets in there.
This whole thing was pretty dope. Not an actual video, just a one take of Ren. I thought it was pretty sweet that it was kind of like, oh, what do you call that? Like back in the day, somebody would a ransom letter or something, and it had all different.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that. So pretty sweet, put together all differently. Again, it's just more of what people think put into music, and it's just like, fuck yeah, makes you vibe to it. So I suppose I'm just gonna say
Shade, you're not Spose, you're Shades.
You're right.
But you are awesome.
Fair. But this was fucking fire.
I got some vaudeville vibes off of this too a little bit, which is ironic. You know, he's talking about the circus that we all live in, so that kind of makes sense. Now, what did I think? Well, where'd it go? This was fucking fire, okay? This was fucking fire. This was one of my favorite Ren tracks. Absolutely now. Definitely one of my all-time favorite Ren tracks, and this might be one that I use to expose certain people to it. I'll preface it by saying all of his stuff is not like this, but I know some people that will absolutely rock with this fucking track more than some of his other stuff, and so I am absolutely on board with this one. I'm gonna be banging this one out through my shitty Avalanche truck speakers driving down the road because I loved this dude. From his message to the instrumental talent, I'm all on board, man. I am all on board. And speaking of some of the things he said, you know, he mentioned George Orwell, right, Shades?
That guy?
Yeah, that guy right there. As Chris Webby has done, he has put that book in a video or two of his. We're not going to keep you guys here much longer. Power to the people. As always, power to the Renegades, power to the Cyber Skull Mafia, power to the Council of Steves and the 21 Second Club, the Glitch Gang, all of you guys. We love every single one of you. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. We are looking forward to where the rest of this journey goes. It's going to be a good one.
We talk a lot about consumerism, and we all feel very passionately about that. I also am fully aware that it could seem vaguely hypocritical, right? With my Ray-Ban sunglasses and my New Balance windbreaker, my Apple AirPods, you know, we're guilty of it. It's not like we're blind to that fact, but it's just such a part of our lives that it's hard to toe that line. We're not faking the funk here. We firmly believe this message that he's saying. Those of us that know us outside of these videos know what we stand for. And I think we've been pretty consistent through our videos. When these topics come up, we've all had a consistent stance. But Mr. Oakley Shades there, you know, we all buy into it a little bit as well. It's tough, but it is something that we are at least conscious of. That was my last little soapbox.
Like we do. We like certain things. We like nice things. We tend to gravitate towards certain brands or things other than others. It's really just personal taste. I got this really expensive rig back here that I collected parts in the middle of COVIDs over the course of like 8 months and built that thing. And I had to do it to do what I do for work, to do the things we do here. That thing is a workhorse, dude. It's running all day long. I am putting it through hell and it needs some more upgrades. And so luckily, thanks to you guys, it'll eventually get those upgrades. You know what else is an upgrade, Dylan?
Our entire Failure Fire series.
The people are upgraded once they watch the rest of our Failure Fire series. Well, maybe not the rest of it. There's like almost 100 videos now in that bitch.
Watch all of them.
But there's a lot of them. Most of them are music. We switched over to just music a while ago. We love you guys. We love the ones especially who go check out the rest of our stuff. There's a lot of good stuff out there. Make sure you like and subscribe so we can get to that 4,000 subscriber number in the sky. Let us know in the comments whether you thought this was a fail fire or just plain mid, because we are Cyber Skull Media. This was Fail or Fire, and we will keep bringing you the heat. We'll catch you guys in the next one. We'll see you later on Discord.